Midnight Justice. Victor Hale was a man who lived for control. As one of the most renowned defense attorneys in the city, he was a master of persuasion, commanding courtrooms with eloquence and charisma. With his tailored suits, piercing steel-blue eyes, and a smile that hinted at danger, he had the world at his feet. Women adored him, men envied him, and judges respected him. Yet, behind the veneer of success lay a man driven by darker desires. A predator who thrived on manipulation, power, and the thrill of crossing lines others wouldn't dare to approach. Victor's days were a performance of perfection. He was the picture of sophistication, the kind of lawyer who could spin even the most damning evidence into an acquittal. But the adrenaline rush of courtroom victories was no longer enough to satisfy him. By night, he sought solace in his penthouse, a lavish space overlooking the city. Hidden behind an unassuming wall was his secret sanctuary, a room dedicated to his nocturnal exploits. Leather restraints, sleek whips, and polished tools adorned the room, each item meticulously arranged. The women who visited this space were drawn to Victor's enigmatic charm, willingly surrendering to his control. For years, this dual life sustained him, the highs of dominance offering a reprieve from the monotony of success. But even this began to lose its edge. Victor craved something more, something that would elevate his sense of control to an apex he hadn't yet reached. A new challenge. It was during one of his routine case reviews that he found her, Angela Marino. Her name leaped from the page like a challenge he couldn't resist. Angela was the assistant district attorney assigned to prosecute one of his high-profile clients. She had a reputation for being relentless in the courtroom, her sharp intellect and unyielding determination making her a formidable adversary. For Victor, Angela wasn't just another opponent. She was a conquest waiting to be claimed, a puzzle he yearned to dismantle piece by piece. The thrill of besting her professionally was intoxicating, but the idea of controlling her personally was irresistible. Their first encounter was at a charity gala. Victor approached her with a confidence that was almost predatory. "Angela Marino," he said, his voice smooth as silk. "The woman everyone's talking about." Angela glanced up, her eyes wary but intrigued. "Victor Hale, the man everyone loves to hate." He laughed, the sound warm and disarming. "I prefer the man everyone loves. Hate is such a strong word." She smirked, her guard still firmly in place. "We'll see which one applies after the trial." Victor thrived on her resistance. It was a rare thing for him to encounter someone who didn't fall under his spell immediately. He began to pursue her, weaving himself into her life with calculated precision. Angela, despite her reservations, found herself drawn to him. He was attentive, charming, and seemed to understand her in ways that unsettled her. The web tightens. For months, Victor played the part of the perfect suitor. He sent flowers to her office, surprised her with intimate dinners, and shared stories that hinted at vulnerability. But behind the scenes, he was methodically gathering information about her. Her routines, her fears, her secrets. Angela was no fool. She had built a career on spotting lies and uncovering truths. Yet Victor's facade was flawless, his charm a smokescreen that blinded even the sharpest instincts. One evening, Victor invited her to his penthouse for dinner. The view was breathtaking, the skyline glittering against the darkness. Over wine and laughter, Angela let herself relax. She was beginning to believe that maybe, just maybe, Victor was as genuine as he seemed. But as the night wore on, something shifted. Victor's demeanor became more intense, his eyes lingering on her with an unsettling hunger. When he suggested they move to his private collection, Angela hesitated. "It's something special," he said, his voice coaxing. "I think you'll appreciate it." Curiosity won over caution, and she followed him. When he revealed the hidden room, her breath caught. The tools, the restraints, the atmosphere. It was unlike anything she'd ever seen. Victor's gaze was unwavering. This is where I find clarity, control, trust. Angela's instincts screamed at her to leave, but Victor's charm was magnetic, his words a siren song. When he took her wrists and began fastening the restraints, she felt a pang of unease. "Victor, this is a bit much, don't you think?" she said, trying to inject lightness into her tone. He didn't respond immediately, his focus on tightening the straps. When he finally looked up, his smile was cold. "Angela, control is everything. And tonight, you're mine." The tables turn. Angela's pulse quickened, but not from fear. She had been waiting for this moment, anticipating his move. "Victor," she said, her voice steady, "you've made a mistake." His laugh was low and mocking. "And what mistake would that be?" Her eyes locked onto his, steely and defiant. "Underestimating me." In one fluid motion, Angela freed her wrists. Victor's meticulous knots had been no match for her dexterity. Before he could react, she reached into her purse and pulled out a concealed stun gun. Victor staggered back, his face contorted with shock. "What the hell?" Angela's lips curved into a smile. "You didn't think I'd walk into this blind, did you? I've been building a case against you for months. Every woman you've hurt, every line you've crossed. It's all documented." Victor's shock morphed into rage. "You think you can take me down? I've been untouchable for years." Angela tilted her head, her smile unwavering. "Not anymore. Midnight justice." Before Victor could make another move, the penthouse door burst open. A SWAT team flooded the room, their voices sharp and commanding. At their helm was Detective Marcus Hayes, Angela's longtime ally and confidant. "Victor Hale," Hayes announced, his tone dripping with satisfaction. "You're under arrest for coercion, assault, and obstruction of justice." Victor's world crumbled as the officers cuffed his wrists. He glared at Angela, his once commanding presence reduced to seething fury. "This isn't over," he snarled, his voice venomous. Angela stepped closer, her gaze icy. "Oh, it's over, Victor. You thought you could control everything. But justice doesn't play by your rules." As Victor was led away, Angela stood tall, her composure unshaken. The city lights flickered outside, casting their glow over the scene. For Angela, this was more than just a victory. It was a statement. Even the most charming predators couldn't escape the reach of midnight justice. And in the silence that followed, Angela allowed herself a small, triumphant smile. The game was over and she had won.